Hi, folks. Welcome to Graham House Reviews. Today, I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on some of the Oscar nominations. I'm just kind of going to go over about 7 or 10 categories. I didn't get to see every movie that was nominated. I didn't like 1917. I haven't seen yet. Little Women, Bombshell, Judy. Um, just have not gotten around to it. Little Women is still in one of my local theaters, so I want to see it um, before the Oscars. I just haven't, and I'm sorry. So to start it off, I'm going to be going over actor in a leading role, supporting role, achievement in cinematography nominees, achievement in film editing, music, motion picture of the year, directing, and costume design. These are the ones that I've seen either the most movies um, in the category, or I can actually speak to what I've enjoyed about it so far, and why I think it at least deserves the consideration. So, starting from the top, actor in a leading role. There was I didn't see Pain and Glory, so I won't go over that. But Leo in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Adam Driver in Marriage Story, Phoenix in Joker, and Jonathan Pryce in Two Popes. I thought Two Popes. Now, out of these four movies, I'm going to be actors. I'm going to be going from least likely to win, in my opinion, to most likely to win. And the least likely to win in I don't see Price winning. It was a good depiction. I still felt like I was watching somebody act, which is why I'm watching a movie. But it wasn't really. It didn't grip me how some of the other performances did. And then this next group of three, I'm gonna say I'd put in the same tier, as in, could win, and I wouldn't say anything about it. Step down. If it won, I'd be like, really? It beat that? So Leo in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I think was fantastic. Rick Dalton was one of my favorite characters. The pain in Leo's face when he's depicting a washed up action star, it made me feel that Leo was a washed up action star when he won his first Oscar like 3 years ago. Of course he wasn't washed up, and I'm just watching it, and there's such a way that he depicts the hopelessness that Rick feels, and how he comes back from it was wonderful. Loved it. So Adam Driver in Marriage Story. All my friends will tell you how much I love this movie. I would say it's one of my personal favorites over. I'd honestly probably put it in my top 15 all time for myself. So Adam Driver's performance in Marriage Story was centered around how well he can depict the emotion of losing everything, which is difficult to convey in a way that gets you genuine emotional attachment to that character. So, losing your wife who you have beef with. Okay, that's sad. And opening up the movie with his monologue about the monologues, I should say, about how much they love each other and what they love each other and what they love about each other was the perfect way, because it gives you that standard and then it just falls right down. And watching Adam go from how much he loves his wife and ex-wife and his kid, and how much he wants to be friends with everybody and all that other jazz, go to what I think the culmination of the film is the fight scene, and just that that's fall down the slope, and how he depicts that, and how his mannerisms are, and his delivery on one of the first lines that stuck with me is when is when Henry wouldn't get in the car, and Adam, who was always always patient and always validating and loved all the difficult things about being a dad, and he just snaps at Henry and just says, "Get the fuck in the car." And just the delivery on that line made me recoil and just think to myself, this is a broken man. This is a broken person. And having him go through that and everything else, top notch, loved it. Would 10 out of 10 recommend everybody and their mother to watch this movie. And as a little sidebar, it's really interesting that was my first experience with Adam Driver in like a higher budget role, because I'm going from Adam Driver in Marriage Story, and then I watched all of the Star Wars. So going from like Charlie to Kylo Ren was fucking huge. That was a lot of fun. For what it's worth, I didn't think he did Kylo Ren that well at all. So Joaquin Phoenix in Joker. I think this is the clear winner. This isn't a tier all by itself, in the sense that everything else is still good and great, phenomenal even, but it's just so much better. This is the LeBron, Michael Jordan. Compare that to like Wilt and Dirk and Kobe. Everybody's fucking great, but they're better. They're just better. I for 99% of the movie, I didn't remember that I was watching Joaquin Phoenix. I thought I was legitimately watching Arthur, and that's a testament. I think everything else about the movie was trash. I don't think it was a good movie. It was baby's first movie with meaning, and if you wanted to talk on that, like, please do. I need somebody to tell me why they think Joker is good. So even with all of the detractors of the rest of the movie, Joaquin being that spotlight, that beacon of hope, in his high quality performance, really does speak to the level. Probably my favorite scene, which when I was watching it, I was like, holy shit, he's breaking. Awesome. He is breaking. Was after I guess he was still Arthur at the time, that he killed the couple Wayne Tech employees, and then he runs. He's on the run and just goes into a bathroom, hyperventilates, and then he starts like that dance. And that dance is obviously synonymous with Joker coming through, and however Joker, manifests that personality. Well, Arthur manifests the Joker personality, you know what I'm saying. And just watching it, I'm like, holy shit, he's broke. I hated the video editing on it, which took me out of it, but just how Phoenix delivered it, and continuing on, and the long shots on Phoenix's face, where he just has to, you go out there, act, depict emotion, hear up. Fantastic. His monologues were great. Yeah, this is a studded class. So again, my favorite would be Phoenix. If I had to replace one, I didn't see Pain and Glory, so I can't speak to that. But if I had to replace one of these nominees, I would have replaced Jonathan Pryce in Two Popes, and replaced him with Willem Dafoe from The Lighthouse. And I can get into The Lighthouse later. Performance by an actor in a supporting role. We have Tom Hanks in A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, which I did not get the chance to see. Anthony Hopkins in Two Popes. Al Pacino and Joe Pesci in Irishman, and Brad Pitt in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I'm not really going to be going into as much detail on the rest of these as I was for actor in leading role and motion picture of the year. Reason being is that let's just be honest here. Nobody gives a fuck about anything other than leading actor, leading actress, and best picture. So now, if you're watching this channel, you might, and I'd love to have a back and forth with you. So just comment, and I will get. Let's talk. So actor in a supporting role, I think this goes to Brad Pitt by a country mile. Now it's kind of cheating because having two having two people from the same movie is going to split the vote, full stop. So Al and Joe can't win it. I thought they were good. They can't win it. Anthony Hopkins, I don't think was as good. He always he delivers a an A performance. I don't think it was the A++ that Brad Pitt delivered. And then, like I said, didn't see A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. Wanted to. I talked to my dad on it, and he really liked it. So I'll throw Tom Hanks a bone because it's fucking Tom Hanks. But Brad Pitt, Once Upon a Time, it's a little bit cheating, because Tarantino will always have just one character that you want to be, just one fucking badass character that we're all just like, wow. If I could be him, oh, Jesus, life would be so much cooler. And that was his character. So trying to focus more on how, Brad acted and delivered everything. I think the scene that sticks out the most to me is when he's in the Manson family compound and he's going to speak to his former, I can't remember if it's former coworker at the very least, but I think it was former friend. And just that sense of tension in how he delivered his lines and how he just, it was that true to character sense of I'm a badass and I'm just going to walk in and you can't stop me, to still being like that charming, cunning way of delivering and saying, I think I'm going to come in and you're not going to stop me. With also, the knowledge of this is Tarantino, anybody that we love will die. That's kind of, it culminated, and I mean that was probably my scene of the movie too, and just Brad just being a badass. Yeah. Achievement in cinematography: Irishman, Joker, Lighthouse, 1917, and Once Upon a Time. Joker's not going to win. If Joker fucking wins, it had some of the worst cinematography I've ever seen in a movie that was that quality. That has no right to be nominated in any way, shape, or form. Full stop. Just get it the fuck off this list. I don't care what you replace it with. Get it the fuck off this list. So yeah, I haven't seen 1917. I think this goes to either Once Upon a Time or The Lighthouse. The reason I say that is Once Upon a Time has what feels like 40 minutes of Brad Pitt driving a car around LA, and they making that intriguing and exciting and something more than just driving. Fucking fantastic. And then The Lighthouse, it as a whole, with the old cameras it was shot on and the old style, and they built a fucking lighthouse themselves just to fucking do this and get the perfect shots, and the top down of them screaming up into the, oh Jesus God Almighty, it's my winner. It's also my number 2 movie of the year, and I just it was so beautifully done. And it plays off of so everybody my age that's watching this, maybe a little bit younger, but definitely older, it's going to remember the days of VHS, where you pop a tape into your CRT, yeah, I think that was it, CRT TV, and the blacks kind of are all homogenous in that, like, this would be the same color as this would be the same color as, like, Holy shit, this is difficult. Don't do this at home, kids. So this entire portion of the screen is basically black, right? So in movies, you can't tell what's around the protagonist. And you don't know if they're safe. You don't know if they're alone. You don't know if somebody's coming around the corner. You don't know if somebody's literally right next to them. And that's what Lighthouse plays off of. Being shot in old style and just black and white and just, well, old equipment and old style, I guess I should say. It just really invokes that sense of I don't want to say childish because I don't want to put a negative connotation on it, but nostalgia of fear. And without proper dictation on how to shoot those scenes, yeah, I just that by far and away. Costume design: Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, Once Upon a Time. As I said, didn't see Little Women. I wanted to see Jojo Rabbit, and I can go back through my texts, and I asked like 10 people to go see it with me because I'm just one of those people that I want somebody next to me as I'm watching the movie, and nobody was interested. So I was trying to wait it out and be like, oh, well, I'll just see it on some $5 movie night, and then a lot of things happened, so I wasn't able to see it. I've only heard good things from the trailers. I think it looks beautifully done. I think the costumes are really, really, indicative. Little Women, also same thing. I wanted to see it. It's still in theaters. I want to go see it. The goal is to see it. So I can't speak on those. But I will say something about The Irishman, Joker, and Once Upon a Time. I don't think anything was special about those costume designs. So I think it was just, two of them are and a half. Irishman and Once Upon a Time are period pieces. Joker takes place in the 70s. Little Women and Jojo Rabbit are all period pieces. This entire thing is fucking period pieces, actually. So I think it's a little bit of a cop-out to design a costume around a time period. I just think it makes life easier, and it loses me. How about that? It just loses me. So I'm going to go with... Out of the movies I saw, I'd probably put Once Upon a Time as the winner. I'm not comfortable with that, and I think it'll probably go to JoJo or Little Women, just with how underwhelming the others are. I'm not the best person at costume design, so please, engage. Like, if you know more, which I'm sure a lot of people do, engage, please. Achievement in directing. Irishman, Martin Scorsese. Joker, Todd Phillips. 1917, Sam Mendes. Once Upon a Time, Quentin Tarantino. And Parasite, I hope I say this properly, Bong Joon-ho. This is Parasite's to lose. It's great. How the choices in cinematic parallels, with let's just take some of the montages of the montage of how the family is going to start to infiltrate. You see how they're going to do it in a different way right before they do it. Like the son was pouring hot sauce on the pizza, and it's the same angle, same look, same shot as when the father was pouring hot sauce on the tissues. And just there's a ton more of that, and then the literal the literal lines created in how things were shot, that was disparaging between the haves and the have-nots, the capitalists and the oppressed. Fantastic. I think this should have been up for cinematography as well, but anyways. And then the choices to stay on long shots and what he shows us, and when to when it's more dramatic to stay on somebody's face when the action's going on over there versus panning to the it was fantastic. The actors, actresses, everybody just it was a fantastic movie. And I think his words said it best. Once you get over that 1-inch barrier of subtitles, you're open up to an entirely new barrier, entirely new land of movies, and it really don't watch this. It's on Amazon Prime right now. Watch it. They English dubbed it. Don't watch it in the English dub. It's disrespectful to the product. Turn on subtitles. Watch it. The sense of tension it will create during one scene is because you know it's gonna. Oh God, so good, so good. Script, fantastic. Film editing. Ford, Ferrari, Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Parasite. Parasite for all the reasons I listed previously, and part of the directing process is deciding how they're involved in that, and how and oh Jesus God, good shit. Original score: Joker, Little Women, Marriage Story, 1917, Star Wars: Rise of Skywalker. John Williams is gonna win this because it's John fucking Williams. I would say Randy Newman should get it for Marriage Story. Again, not seeing Little Women or 1917, because I thought Marriage Stories was damn near perfect, and Star Wars with John Williams. Like I said, it's going to win because it's going to win because it's fucking John Williams and it's fucking Star Wars. So there's not really a point in getting me like worked up on this. So I'm going to just move forward. But holy shit, come the fuck on. And then my take for Best Picture of the Year: Ford versus Ferrari, Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, Marriage Story, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Parasite. This should not be controversial to anybody that knows who I am. Parasite wins it. Parasite is the best movie. Parasite might be the best movie that was created in our lifetimes. And I'm saying it beats out Gangs of New York. I'm saying it beats out No Country for Old Men. I'm saying it beats out There Will Be Blood. I'm saying it beats out every movie I have seen produced from 1990 or distributed from 1995 to today's to January 26th, 2020. Parasite was the best movie. It's unfair. Like if I had to say, my top three, it would go Parasite, Marriage, Once. And I don't think a lot of people are going to agree with that. Like I said, I haven't seen 1917 Little Women or Ford versus Ferrari, but it's not going to be Ford versus Ferrari. It's not. It's just not. Jojo Rabbit was it wasn't big enough to win. Little Women, I think, came out late, and the voting people, being old white men, are not going to vote for a movie about women. Let's just dispel that notion, and it's a shame, and more women should have been nominated for like everything. However, with the world we live in and the committee that we have, that's not going to happen. There's a reason why Green Book won last year. You know what I mean? There's a reason why there's been 4 women nominated for Best Director or Best Picture. There's a reason. It's not because they can't direct. It's not because of that. Committee sucks. So I'm going to get off my soapbox. If you have any questions about some of my thoughts on movies, please let me know. I want to talk to people about this. Um, I'll be hosting a little Oscars get together, so I might be live tweeting some reactions on that. Follow me on Twitter at FatWeekTrash, and give me a like on Facebook. Share this video, please. Um, yeah, subscribe. Like you. This isn't your first time on YouTube. So anytime I laugh, my camera goes all wonky. So this has been Graham House Reviews. Sorry for the jump cuts. It's gonna get better.